You come into the world as an innocent little child, eyes wide with wonder, knowing nothing of the cruel sea that surrounds you. The first thing you hear is the crash of waves against the shore, the distant laughter of pirates celebrating another haul, the hushed whispers of townsfolk praying they won't be next. As a toddler, you learn to walk on unsteady legs, your tiny hands clutching a wooden toy ship dreaming of adventure. Pirates are heroes in your eyes, bold, free, and untouchable. You hear the tales of legendary captains who defy the world government, treasure troves hidden across the Grand Line, and the promise of a life without rules. But as you grow older, the world around you starts to change. At 6 years old, you notice the fear in your parents' eyes when sails appear on the horizon. You hear the hurried whispers of merchants closing shop, the clinking of swords being ready just in case. Some pirates are kind, sure, but others take what they want and leave nothing but ashes behind. By the time you turn 8, you understand what it really means to be a pirate. The wanted posters nailed to the tavern wall show faces full of scars and hardened eyes. The old fisherman at the docks tells you how his son set sail with the crew and never returned. And when the Marines march through town, their coats billowing like storm clouds, you realize being a pirate isn't just about treasure and adventure, it's about running, fighting, and never knowing if you'll see the next sunrise. And that's when it really hits you. The life of a pirate, it's not just hard, it sucks. But then you hear a different kind of story. One about a boy who didn't just dream of being a pirate, he became one. His name is Monkey D. Luffy, and unlike the ruthless men who raid villages and burn ships, he isn't after gold or glory, he just wants to be free. He sets sail with nothing but a straw hat, an unbreakable will, and a promise to his childhood hero. People laugh at him, call him a fool, say he'll never make it, but step by step, island by island, he proves them wrong. At first you admire him, how could you not? He fights warlords, defies the world government, and challenges emperors, all while grinning like he's having the best day of his life. His crew follows him without question, risking everything just to stand by his side. They're not just pirates, they're family. And for a moment, you start to think, maybe pirate life isn't so bad after all. But then reality hits you like a cannonball. You see what Luffy really goes through. The pain, the loss, the constant battle just to stay alive. He nearly dies fighting for his friends. He loses his brother right in front of him. The world sees him as a menace. The Marines chase him like an animal. And no matter how strong he gets, there's always someone stronger waiting to take him down. Luffy may be free, but freedom comes at a cost, and for most pirates in One Piece, that cost is too high. This is the reality of being born a pirate in One Piece. If you aren't atop of the 1% of crews, life sucks. I mean, just think about it. We get to see a very unique perspective from the One Piece world. Everything Luffy does works out in the end because he's the main character and he has plot armor. But it's very easy to forget all the other people and pirates in the One Piece world that have a very different experience to the Straw Hat Pirates. For every Luffy, there's 1,000 no-name pirates who set sail with a dream and never make it past the first Marine patrol. If you're not strong enough, you get taken out early, either by rival crews, bounty hunters, or the world government. And if you do survive, that's just the beginning. Think about all of these small-time crews that we've seen in the series. A lot of them start off very hopeful, just like Luffy did. They're having a good time, they're happy, they're finally setting sail, but the moment they run into a real powerhouse, it's over. Look at Bellamy. Bro thought he was him with that 55 million berry bounty, mocking Luffy, and then ended up getting one-shotted by Luffy. And Bellamy is someone who is at least semi-relevant in the story. Most crews don't even get that far. Kuro, Don Krieg, those guys are other great examples. Don Krieg just barely made it to the Grand Line and his fleet got destroyed by Mihawk. Kuro didn't even really make it as a pirate, so he decided to retire with Kaya for a couple years before trying it again, and he got destroyed by Luffy, who was just starting. And it's not even just about strength. Surviving as a pirate is a constant struggle. Where are you getting food? Who's going to repair your ship after the inevitable fights that happen? If you get injured, good luck finding a doctor that's not going to sell you out to claim your bounty. The Straw Hats have Chopper, but not every crew is going to have an experienced doctor. You get sick, you get stabbed, you get poisoned, that's it. Game over. As a pirate, you can never relax, especially once you get stronger, because then you get a fat bounty on your head and everyone wants to take you down. You become a pirate to chase freedom, But then you get this bounty, and now you're stressed all the time because people are constantly after you trying to take your freedom away. Nami and Usopp are great examples of this. They don't want a higher bounty because that means more people are going to try and take them down. It's been shown a couple of times now. They do not want that bounty to go any higher. Rarely are you able to relax and settle down as a pirate because even if you're not actively causing trouble, the government will hunt you down just for existing. Let's also not forget that most crews are not like the Straw Hat Pirates. The Straw Hats are basically a family, but most crews are nothing like that. Most crews are built on fear and power, with the strongest being the leaders. They aren't exactly best friends with each other. I would say the Rocks Pirates or the Blackbeard Pirates make for good examples. Big Mom and Kaido used both of these attributes to their advantage. Kaido was the strongest. He used that to his advantage to get people like Basil Hawkins, Apu. He tried to get Kid onto his crew. Big Mom the same way. She used her influence on Jinbei, she used it on Captain Beji, and a few other crews as well. I mean, heck, Big Mom's own kids are even deathly afraid of her. That's what you risk becoming a pirate. The life of a pirate is not good. So let's talk about why Luffy and the Straw Hats are so different from most pirate crews. The Straw Hats defy every normal pirate expectation. They don't betray each other, they don't pillage or kill, and they actually care about their crewmates. That's rare. Compare them to typical crews like Blackbeard's, where loyalty is based on fear, or Kaido's, like I mentioned before. A lot of his subordinates would just drink themselves to death because they had nothing else to do. They were miserable, and if they tried to leave, they get thrown in prison, which would be worse, or they would just die. The Straw Hats, though, have insane luck and plot armor. They find a legendary shipwright, Frankie, a genius doctor, Chopper, a cook who can literally fight and feed them gourmet meals, Sanji. Most crews don't have anything close to that, and that makes survival way harder. Imagine if Luffy didn't have Nami to navigate the Grand Line, or if Usopp wasn't there to snipe Sugar in Dressrosa. That one moment alone saved everyone. Most pirate crews don't get chances like that. The real catch is, even if you survive, become strong, and one of the strongest pirate crews, life still isn't that great. The end goal for most pirates is either finding the One Piece, which, let's be real, almost nobody is gonna do, or becoming an emperor. So no matter what you do, you are always gonna be fighting off opponents. Look at Whitebeard. He was one of the most powerful men in the world, but even he couldn't escape the harsh reality of pirate life. He was old, sick, and still had to go to war to fight for his family and his freedoms. Even the Yonko stay in constant conflict. You would think if you reach one of the 4 Emperors of the Sea positions, you would be chilling. You wouldn't have anything to worry about, but that's not the case. Big Mom and Kaido spent decades trying to stay on top, and even they got wiped out. Even if you are stronger than other pirate crews, the government itself is too powerful. You have to face annoying vice admirals, the Gorosei, risk buster calls on your home island. Pirate life sucks. So in the end, what does it really mean to be a pirate in the One Piece world? Being a pirate in One Piece is a constant struggle. From the moment you decide to set sail as a pirate, you're at war with the entire world. Whether you're Luffy chasing a dream, or some nameless pirate trying to make a name for themselves, life is filled with danger, betrayal, and loss. Even the greatest pirates pay the price for their freedom. Freedom might be the overarching goal, but it normally comes with a cost that most pirates can't afford to pay. And even if you make it to the top, you're never safe. There's always someone stronger, always someone hunting you. So when you watch the Straw Hats take on the world and succeed most of the time, remember this. For every victory they have, for every treasure they find, there's a whole world of pirates struggling just to survive. I mean, heck, there are pirates that have lost their dreams because they lost a Davy back fight to Foxy. That's horrible. Being a pirate is dangerous, you will never have peace, and that's what makes Luffy's journey incredible. Because after all of the sucky things pirate life has to offer, he still pushes forward with a smile on his face.